Little Rutger Langley is a happy, healthy child. His parents, Carlotta and Randy, like the 13-month-old boy's calm, even temperament. But that's when he's the center of attention. If he's not, well...
He seems to always want something when we're in public or when we're out to dinner with other people, and that's when a temper tantrum usually gets taken care of by giving him whatever he wants, just to make him be quiet so that he doesn't cause a scene in a restaurant or a grocery store.
And is he crying with strangers now?
Pediatrician Joan Meek says babies like Rutger throw tantrums for different reasons than older children.
He doesn't have language skills that children will later develop, so that's the way he lets somebody know that he needs something, he needs attention.
Children cry to express themselves from the first moments of life. In fact, crying is a baby's language, and parents need to learn what their child is trying to say. A certain amount of crying is, of course, normal. But if the crying becomes excessive, it's important to make sure the baby is not sick.
So you really need to do a very careful exam of those babies and make sure there isn't a medical reason for excessive crying.
If you've tried everything and you're convinced there's no health problem, you may have what's called a colicky baby. Up to 20% of babies are diagnosed with colic, which typically begins in the first few weeks and can last for months. Colic is defined as crying 3 hours a day or more. Sometimes, if a baby is being bottle-fed, changing the formula can help with colic. Rutger suffered from colic. Carlotta, who's a pediatrician herself, remembers him crying all day and into the night.
Look how big you are.
He screamed himself to sleep. He would sleep maybe 10-15 minutes, and then he would wake up screaming again.
Yes, this little angel bedeviled his parents hour after hour, day after day, for months on end. Carlotta says she felt like she wasn't a good mother.
Unfortunately, it made days sad. As compared to the joy of being a new mom, it became a lot of me just saying, please let me get through this day.
Pediatricians aren't sure what causes colic. Maybe trouble with the developing nervous system or problems in the digestive tract. Whatever's wrong, it suddenly goes away.
At about 5.5 months, he woke up one day and just seemed happy. It was really like, it was, looking back on it, exactly what colic is.
Excessive crying, whether it's colic or not, presents a challenge to parents. If, in spite of your best efforts, feeding, changing, holding, your baby won't stop crying, there are some tricks you can try. Babies like gentle motion. Try rocking or walking with the baby. And sounds can soothe them, like the constant rumbling hum of the vacuum cleaner.
And then there's the car ride. Every parent knows you can always put the baby in the car seat, properly restrained, go for a ride, and they'll usually conk out with that.
Keep in mind, just like adults, babies have different personalities and will respond to different things.
Sometimes with the intense crying, they need just a quiet place, a quiet environment, whereas other babies want to be moved around.
Some mothers worry about spoiling their babies by picking them up every time they cry. Dr. Meek says, don't worry, at least for the first 3 months. That's just what the baby needs.
That holding is not going to cause any harm to the baby and is actually reassuring to the baby that someone is out there and hears them and recognizes that they need something and responds to them.
As babies mature, parents can start considering letting them cry it out. If your baby won't stop crying and you feel yourself growing more and more frustrated, it's a good idea to give yourself a break.
It's important for them to have somebody that they can say, take the baby for a couple hours every night or every day, just so you have some time to breathe.
So take care of your baby's needs. Bring him to the pediatrician's office if you suspect something's wrong. And don't worry too much. Babies cry. That's what they do.